Okay, looks like we are live, everybody. That caught me off guard. Usually we have like a countdown. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. Very happy to have you guys here. We got a fantastic couple of interviews lined up. I'm very, very excited for these interviews. And one of the reasons why is we have Brad here. He is a buddy of mine, not only a buddy, we've worked on training in the past. Before I introduce you to this man, I want to give you guys the breakdown for tonight. So the information that you guys are going to want to know to get some free stuff and really make the most out of this live. This live is going to be an hour long, and we're going to be doing two different interviews, one with Brad and one with Erik. So guys, make sure to stay till the end, not only for the excellent information that you guys get, but also because we're going to be doing two giveaways. One giveaway during Brad's segment, one giveaway during Erik's segment. So Joey, my name, Joey, is going to give you guys $120 off of the Speediance Gym Monster over at Speediance.com. Whitney in the background is going to be sharing the link that you guys can use in order to purchase. If you purchase tonight, you guys are going to be receiving hooks, ski handles, extender belt, and squat belt for free. Make sure, guys, to go ahead and comment. Thank you very much, Whitney. Whitney, as you guys can see, posted there. That's the link you guys can use. Go ahead, use my code for that 120 off. And make sure to periodically, guys, type in Brad's name into the chat box along with your questions, comments, and concerns for either me or Brad. That's going to enter you into the giveaway. So let's get into the really good stuff. Brad, it's so good to have you here, man.
Hey, great to be here, Joe. It's good to see you here on the live.
Man, it's excellent to see you. It's nice to meet you again, and also for the first time, be able to meet your bicep vein.
Yeah, it's been a journey for sure. But hey, this is all digital weight right here, so I'm living proof.
Oh, man, that is excellent. Guys, for anybody who doesn't know, but probably no one knows, Brad and I actually did some training. We had a training session together back when I was more into the online personal training. And when I started, quote unquote, coaching Brad, I was thinking, why is this guy here? Because he knows. Brad knows. But Brad, tell us a little bit about you, maybe your age, your training history, and stuff like that, please.
Yeah, appreciate that. So I'm 45 and been training for, probably 20 years, pretty intensely. I've always been that guy who would get up at 3:30 and run over to the gym down the road and get my training in. It was a fantastic ride until the pandemic hit. And then my gym closed and I found digital weight during that period. And the day I found the digital weight machine, I never turned back. For me, it was a great opportunity to shift from my traditional training to something that I deem to be a little more efficient. And for the last 2 years, that's what I've been doing, and it's had great results for me.
Man, that is excellent. That is excellent. So you're more of like a seasoned trainer because you've been training since way before digital weight.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that the key is my intensity of training has increased significantly in the past couple of years. And I think, really access is the key, the convenience of it. And before, getting up at 3:30, there were days where I had an excuse. I don't want to get up and get in the car. I've got a long day ahead. And just that convenience factor of being able to run over to my office here, just a couple steps away, and get my training in has been a game changer for me. And it took and everyone has their own training regimen, but for me, I was training 3 to 4 days a week in a gym. I'm training 7 days a week now, and I can do morning, afternoon, evening, depending on my schedule, which is a pretty volatile work schedule. So that flexibility has been a game changer.
Wow. I totally know what you mean, man. Yeah. When I discovered digital weight, having 200 or so pounds in your home that you can have access to at your convenience, it's like you have the best of all worlds and you can go at it whenever you want.
Right. And you say 200 pounds, but hey, if you've lifted 200 pounds of iron and 200 pounds of digital weight, those two things are not alike.
Right.
They are
Right.
not alike. Digital weight is so much heavier. And so for me, I think a lot of people shy away from the digital weight sometime because of that cap. But for anyone who's not tried it, it's a very different experience.
Totally. I agree. For anybody out there who doesn't know why it's such a different experience, for me, what I found is there's two main reasons. And yes, please guys, type in Brad to go ahead and join that giveaway. Two main reasons why it feels a bit different for anybody out there who hasn't experienced this is, number one, you have a motor constantly pulling on your muscle. So the gravity factor of being able to swing a weight up, can maybe cheat it up, use different muscles to get it up, just defy gravity. It's not there because you just have a constant pull. And I guess that's probably about the main reason. I know there was another one, but that's pretty much the main, would you say?
Yeah, you can't cheat the weight.
Right.
You cannot cheat the weight. And there's a lot to be said for that. You can try, and you may get a little help, but the pull of that digital weight is unlike anything. And I've taken 40 pounds of digital and then ran over and grabbed 40 pounds of iron. It's very different. It feels a lot heavier. And so again, for me, that's my experience. And I've had a couple of different digital weight machines, and the experience has been the same on both. And for me, I love that because it really pushes me much, much harder than I've ever been pushed. And I love that. So.
Right. Definitely. So in using Speediance, what are the modes? Because you guys might be familiar, guys. There's some different modes on this. Maybe Brad can touch on some of them that he enjoys. Are there any specific modes that you use in order to get through your training in a more effective way than back when you were just pumping iron?
Yeah, I appreciate that question. There is no substitute for eccentric mode.
Okay.
Right. I mean, this bicep vein is the result of eccentric, right?
There
When you can on your concentric motion lift, let's say 60 pounds, and then you've got 85 forcing you down and you're fighting that weight, that is just something that cannot be replicated in any other way. So I'm a guy who values time and I value efficiency. And if I can get more efficiency out of my training session with a smart mode like that, it is a game changer for me. And so, yeah, I'm a big fan of eccentric. There are times where I'll flip on chains mode because, again, very, very different experience where kind of that beginning part of the rep is much, much heavier than at the top. But man, I love eccentric. It really pushes me in different ways. And then I'll just say, the other modes really more on the safety side of things, right? So you can push yourself really, really hard, and then you have assistance modes that make sure that you're safe in maxing out to your fullest without putting yourself in jeopardy. And to me, again, that's kind of the second portion of it. While that's a safety mechanism, it allows you to push harder than I would in a gym because I may not have a spotter, right? This is like your digital spotter. And again, you can do a lot with those two things.
Man, you aren't kidding, bro. Yeah, I personally, I love eccentric mode. I love eccentric mode. It totally changes the game. Not only are you getting more weight, but you're getting more weight safer. So it's like another layer of protection. Like you just said, you have that spotter mode. It's another layer of protection, and it's maximizing your muscle's potential. It's incredible.
Yeah, the pump you get from that is unlike anything. And the great thing is it works for every exercise. I mean, I turn it on for everything, whether it's a closed grip, tricep bench or bench press or curls, everything. It is phenomenal. And again, it just taxes your body in unique ways. So yeah, that's how I get the most use out of it, the most efficiency. And there's probably not a single set that I do that doesn't have eccentric as part of it in some way, shape, or form.
Man, that is awesome. Yeah, same with me. Very rarely will I touch chains mode, but chains mode is like a very niche kind of a mode. It would be great for you guys out there if you're looking to train for power or something along those lines. It's going to help condition your muscles in a completely different way. It's excellent for people who are maybe in sports or power lifters. Of course, this machine, it's not going to be probably enough for a legitimate power lifter. But for somebody who wants to be able to train accessory movements at home and keep that force and be able to manipulate their muscles for when they get back to the gym, this machine will do it.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, there are certain exercises I max out, right? I'll max out deadlift, I'll max out squat. But what I found is if I slow down my rep and I hold that rep, let's say if I'm squatting and I hold it at the bottom for 2 seconds, hey, 200 pounds is a lot. So it depends on how you manage your movement, in my opinion, that you can get a lot more out of 200 pounds even when you are maxing out. And so for me, it's still a continued evolution where I was maxing out on deadlift at 5 reps. I'm now, at 14, 15 reps. And so I'm still continuing to progress because volume, I love volume at the end of the day. It doesn't bother me at all. So yeah, it's not for your power lifter, but for 90% of us out there who aren't in the powerlifting game, you can get super shredded on Speediance and you're going to have a great time doing it.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right. Like Brad said, for like 90, I would even say like 98% of people, at least in all the people I've ever trained, it's always I want to build muscle and lose weight. And this machine can help you do both of those things. That's typically what people want. Whitney, we had a question. I think it popped up on the screen. It mentioned about, thank you so much. I don't know how to pronounce that name. Forgive me, so I'll call you 73. But is it resistance in both directions? Absolutely, that is the case. On all the modes, you'll have resistance in both directions except for the what is it? The mode that is used for the rowing.
Fixed speed.
Thank you. Fixed speed. Yes, for fixed speed. Yes, you'll have different variations of resistance on both ends. And so the one Brad's specifically talking about and the one I specifically love, just like Brad, it's eccentric mode. It's going to give you more weight on the eccentric portion, less weight on the concentric to be able to maximize your muscles' load potential, essentially.
Yeah, Art. So the hypertrophy on that is amazing, right? Because as you get towards the end of your sets, you can even drop set and you can lower the weight on that concentric portion when you're, at the end of your ropes and still push it hard on that eccentric rep. And that's really where a lot of the gains come. If you can find a way to max out, and whether it's drop sets or just leveraging the maximum value of that eccentric mode, it really is a game changer that I've never found a way to replicate that. And I've been training a long time.
Yeah, it makes it so much easier. I remember back in the day, I would have maybe a buddy bring the weight up for me and then just drop it in my hands. But that's like, you got to have someone else there. It's a whole nother world when you can just do it at the touch of a button. It's completely amazing.
Yeah, the great thing is because all of my workouts are custom. I hardly use anything in the library. It's just not, again, I know what I need to train to be successful. And you can build all of that into your custom program where it's, set 1, I'm, doing 10 reps at this weight, and then it's 8, 7, 6, whatever it may be. You're counting down and increasing the weight. And so you can build all of that in to replicate what you might do in the gym if you're drop setting, curls or something to that effect. So yeah, it's pretty flexible.
Really flexible. Yeah. And like you said in the beginning, you are a perfect example of how having a machine at your leisure, how it can completely change the way you look physically and mentally too. bro, I can't even believe how cut up you are right now. It's insane. It's insane. From the last time I saw you,
Yeah,
I'm,
yeah. I've dropped since the last time you saw me. I've dropped 50 pounds, right? But the thing is I've been training a long time, but you got to lock in that diet, right? And that's the key. Is once I cracked the code on that piece, combined with a 7-day regimen, it was actually pretty easy. It was
right.
actually pretty easy, and I'm not eating chicken and rice every day, right? I'm eating really good food and it's just managing it more meticulously plus the training. So I do think that convenience factor is great. And then the ability to, let's say I still get up at 3:30 and work out, but I may get that workout in, and then at noon I may just get some additional training in to hit a particular body part that I feel like is lagging or I want to do a little focus on. And it's simple. I can just knock out 6 or 7 sets and I'm done. I could never do that before because my training session was done, and just the flexibility of the Speediance has been amazing for me in that regard.
Yeah, absolutely, man. What you said is so important for everybody out there. By the way, guys, don't forget, make sure that you drop Brad's name into the chat, and any other comments you like. The more you're chatting it up in that chat box, the more of a chance you are going to have to win that free gift. Also, Joey, my name, will give you $120 off of this machine if you do decide to purchase today. And you'll also receive hooks, ski handles, extender belt, and squat belt along with that purchase. You will not see those purchases, those free gifts in your cart, but you will receive them when you get your machine.
Yeah, that squat belt too. That squat belt
that
really,
helps,
really
man.
nice. I really like that. Yeah, I purchased one myself here a month or so ago, and I like to hit every body part twice a week. One of those leg workouts, I like the barbell back squat, but man, that other one, I love that weighted squat with
Yep.
the belt, and it's amazing. They feel so different, and I love it. So it's a great accessory.
Yeah, it makes you feel like you can go heavy without worrying about like losing it, like getting hurt. Yeah. It's like being on vacation, but still training. It's amazing.
It is. It is.
So bro, you mentioned something that's going to be really helpful for people out there. Since day one on YouTube, so many people were asking, have asked me, so many people have reached out even until today. It's been years, and they'll be like, how do you get your results? And I tell them diet is huge. And cardio is big. Now, most people don't like cardio. You're going to totally lose the weight very efficiently with just like a calorie deficit, watching what you're eating. But of course, cardio can take some off the top. What's your experience? What's your diet been like? Just a quick overview. And then also, are you doing any cardio on Speediance or off Speediance?
Yeah. So I'll tackle the diet first. So yeah, that's been key, right? So I started this transformation October 31st, actually, and I just woke up one day and said, man, I got to get this. I have to get my diet in check, right? I just lost a little bit of control, and maybe self-control is probably the best way to frame it. And so I started logging that very next day every single thing. And I've done this before, but I never stuck with it for a very long period of time. So I put myself in a 500 calorie deficit per day, and I just meticulously managed everything that I was eating. I wasn't that concerned with the macros at the start. It was hit your protein and hit your calories. Those are the only two things I focused on. And it's shocking. From, October all the way, I'd say, to February, I lost 35 pounds just doing that. And it was, like I said, it wasn't eating terrible food. It was eating good food. It was just managing the moderation of it. But then I really got laser focused on the rest of my macros. What I found during that time was I wasn't hitting the essential fats. I didn't want to hit the fats as hard because they're nine calories per gram of fat, and I wanted those calories, right? So I probably underemphasize those and overemphasize protein and carbs. But when I kind of really fixed that, my energy levels shot up. I was kind of hurting a little bit in energy, and things really started to work a little bit better for me. And that was it. So then, I have a handheld body fat monitor. I started the journey around 21%, and we know there's plus or minus 5% on any of these things, right? They're not that accurate, but I used the same consistent method all the way through. I started 21%. I'm now 8%. According to that device. So I'm probably maybe 10%, 11%, something like that. But that last bit of the way from, let's say, March, April, and this month was really getting those last macros dialed in. And now the funny part is, and I'll get to cardio in a moment because it's important.
Sure.
I'm not in the cut anymore. I'm really kind of in maintenance mode. But if you look at my maintenance calories, they've continued to go up. And the reason they've gone up is I've built muscle. And so the more I'm starting to eat, the more muscle I'm building, and your body, burns more calories when it carries more muscle. So I'm sitting now, my maintenance calories around 2,800 a day. And during my cut, I was sitting around 1,700 a day. Right. So I'm getting a ton of food, and that only helps my training. So when it comes to cardio, and I think that's really important, I walk. I don't run. I don't do high intensity interval training. I get 10,000 steps a day. I try to get 10,000 on a walking pad, and then anything else I get just walking around the house and all that is just gravy. So I'll usually end up 15, 16, 17,000 a day. But I have a sedentary job. I sit at a desk, 10, 12 hours a day. And so the ability just to get some walking in while I'm working has been a game changer for me. So for all those out there that hate cardio, I don't consider low intensity, steady state cardio as being a real issue. It's actually pretty easy to do. And you couple that with a good diet and weights, I think you're going to be set, because what you don't want to do is burn too much muscle off. So for me, I'm careful about the cardio. To me, it's pretty low intensity, and that's all you need to be successful. That's my excellent. Yeah.
Yeah, no, guys, I know a lot of people out there may not be able to tell, but I know, because I have totally been like mine and your transformations, if we'll call them transformations, whatever you want to call them, they've been essentially exactly the same, with almost the same exact way that we carried them out. And I can tell you guys right now, Brad, he's got his shirt on, so you guys can't see what he's working with, but I'm telling you right now, the guy looks enhanced. It looks like he could be on drugs, and I'm sure he's not. That's what diet, proper diet, and proper access to a good, solid home gym that has eccentric mode. That'll go a long way, but that will help you to be able to achieve those results. So these results are achievable, guys. This is perfect evidence of it being done in real life.
That's right. And I emulated your journey, Joe. When I started my digital journey, I caught onto your channel, and I got the stepper you got, I got the walking pad you got. And the fact is I basically replicated your journey, and I achieved the results that you achieved. So there's a blueprint, right? And you put that blueprint out there, and we met for a training session, all that. And that was as much focused on diet as anything else, really. Yep. And it was just trying to clean that up a little bit, but it's absolutely, that blueprint's out there. And I've actually shared my blueprint, which is effectively your blueprint, with multiple colleagues, and they've lost 20, 30, 40 pounds. And so it works. This works. You don't have to have a digital gym. What you need is discipline, and need accountability, right? Accountability for what you eat, accountability for getting your steps in, accountability for your strength training. And you do those things, and if you want it, you're going to get it.
Man, I couldn't put it in a better way. I just want to let you know, you made my entire month by knowing that I was able to help in some way, shape, or form. I mean, man, you really did. You totally just made my day. Thank you for letting me know that. We're running a little low on time, unfortunately. I mean, I could talk to you for hours and hours, but we are going to be having Erik come on soon. So I want to ask you, what pointed you in the direction of Speediance, and what has your overall experience with the features on it, just in overall general? I know that you're in free mode most of the time. You're building your own programs, but if you've delved into any of the training that it has, what's your overall thoughts on Speediance? Where did you hear about it, and so forth?
Yeah, I love Speediance. So I heard about it watching one of your lives. So I got it on the kind of the Black Friday Thanksgiving sale, and I loved the portability of the machine. So my other digital equipment is not portable, and it's in my garage where there are certain times of the year where it's not the ideal place to train. And the reality is these machines will have downtime, right? I mean, they are digital pieces of equipment that can have malfunctions mechanically or software wise. And I don't ever want to go back to a gym. That's how good my experience has been. So when I saw the Speediance, I said, wow, it's an amazing machine. It's very different than the machine I currently have. I loved obviously the pricing, and I loved the fact that I don't have to pay for a subscription. That's important, because I don't think I could manage 2 subscriptions. The fact that I now have the ability to use this, and I love the ring, and I love some of the features on it. To me, it was just an amazing looking machine. And the fact that when you get it, for those of you who've done your research, you get the box, you open the box, you plug it in, and you work out. I mean, you're literally working out in 5 minutes from the moment you get this machine. And that, to me, that's pretty exceptional. So that's been my experience. The quality has been fantastic. The movement is so unique in the way it feels, the tension on it. And I love it. So yeah, it's been a wonderful experience. And what I want to say also before time runs out is the folks over at Speediance are amazing. They are engaged. They're listening. When the Speediance community is amazing as a whole, but when you have a feature suggestion, they don't just pile that or file it away in a cabinet somewhere. You're likely going to see that feature come to fruition, and you're not going to wait 2 years. You might wait 2 months. And that's a pretty remarkable product and company who's listening to their customer base and making constant changes. For me, it's exciting to turn it on every day and see what's changed, because that's how often software updates are coming out, right? And I kind of get geeked out on that. But yeah, it's been fun.
That is awesome. I'm so glad you brought that up, man, because that's been my experience too. They seem to care about their customers. They're not just looking to make money. They're taking suggestions seriously. They're constantly updating stuff on that machine, tweaking things, adding big or little, different options. It's incredible to see that they seem to be excited about the product and excited to help people every day. Yeah,
it's been a very unique experience being an Speediance customer. And even if something doesn't work right, they will fix it. And just a recent example, my ring wasn't being as responsive as it should be. I contacted them. They sent me a new one in a week. They are top notch on customer service. And that's one thing I care deeply about when I'm, because this is not a cheap product. I mean, you're spending a lot of money for this, and you want reliability. And I think there's a lot of fear from the consumers out there about the longevity of a digital product or digital companies, right? Because there's so much volatility. But I can only tell you, I've had an amazing experience so far, and they listen and they respond, and I can't ask for more.
Man, I am so happy to know it, man, because I am so grateful to know that this machine's been good, that any advice that I've ever given on the channel or in person has been good. I'm just so grateful. I mean, I can't even, guys, I just want to say hearing this stuff makes all of the time that I've been on YouTube worth it. And Brad, you just made my night, man.
Yeah, well, you've helped me achieve something I thought was never achievable, Joe. So I can't thank you enough.
Man, thank you so much, brother. I appreciate it. Hey, Whitney, we're running a little bit low on time. Yeah, there we go. Let's see who won. Let's see who won the giveaway for this. Brad, it would be awesome if you won, bro.
No, I can't win.
Let's see.
All right. It's art.
There you go. 73.
Art. Congratulations.
Art. Okay, good. Yes, excellent. Thank you so much. So, my brother, I'm going to let you go for now. We're going to have Erik come on in. We're going to be interviewing Erik. Guys, can't wait for you to get to know him. And we'll be also going over a little bit more of the paperwork stuff once Erik comes in.
That's great. Great chatting with you all tonight.
Thank you, man. Great to hear from you, and we'll talk soon.
Sounds good. Appreciate it.
Thanks, bro. Oh, all right, guys. So I thought Erik was going to be popping in. I'm sure he'll be popping in a minute. I'm going to take this opportunity to once again thank you, Brad, for coming on, giving us your time. You're a busy man, a family man. You're trying to keep your training and your work in check. You're checking all the boxes, and bro, you're making it look effortless. So keep doing what you're doing. Thank you so much for being here and sharing your experience with all of us. Now, again, guys, keep this in mind as we move forward with Erik. Joey is the code you guys are going to be using. That's going to give you $120 off. In the comment section, in the description, you guys are going to see a link that will take you to the Speediance website. That's where you can purchase this product. And if you want to see results the way Brad, the way anybody who has been able to train at home with such ease and the capabilities of this machine, if you guys are looking for those results, click on that link, check it out for yourself. It's been a great ride. Joey will get you $120 off. You're also going to be receiving hooks, ski handles, belt extenders, and a squat belt as well, guys. So you're not going to see those in the cart when you go ahead and purchase that product. But if you use Joey as the code, you will be receiving those items with your purchase. Erik, good to have you, man.
Hey.
Guys, we're also going to be dropping Erik's name into the description. That is going to be giving you an opportunity, along with your comments, questions, and concerns. It's going to be giving you the opportunity to enter into the free giveaway that we're going to be having in this segment as well. Erik, thank you for being here, my friend.
You got it.
Thank you.
How you doing?
I'm so excited to get to know a little bit about you. Are you a member of the Speediance Facebook group?
Yep, I am.
Okay. I don't think I've met you on there yet.
Okay.
I don't.
Yep, I've been on there. I've been on there since January 1, pretty much.
Okay. Oh, yeah, since January, right. So, guys, Erik, I don't know Erik much, and I can't wait to get to know him. Erik is a relatively new user since January. We're going to basically, I'd love to know what your experience has been. What's your training history like? What's your age? Are you new to training in general? Or have you been training for a while in regular gyms? Okay.
Yeah, I haven't really done a lot of training in the past. I've had home gyms in the past. I've gone to the gym before, and none of it's really stuck for me in the past. So I just decided, I'm going to go with the Speediance, and we can talk a little bit more about how that works. But yeah, I haven't really had a lot of history of it. And instead of doing sports back when I was in high school, I was working, so I didn't really get to do a lot of sports either. So I never really had the opportunity to get into it in a, from a athletics, standpoint. And then through my life, I've kind of dabbled with it, but never really been too committed to it.
Okay. Gotcha. I just want to let you know, there's a little bit of a lag. So if I accidentally talk over you, it's not on purpose. It's just because I see your mouth stop moving. And then after I start talking, I hear you again. So I apologize if I talk over you. It's not on purpose.
No problem at all.
Thank you. So I'm curious. You said nothing's really stuck. I think that was the term you used. I'm curious. Do you know the reason why it might not have stuck?
It was for various reasons. When I was in a gym, it was really being able to commit the time to going as regularly as I wanted to. And the problem was, I could go here and there, but I couldn't really go on a regular schedule, and it just never really was, allowed me to really get the routine that I needed. And then I've had workout machines myself in the past, but not having a lot of history with it, I'd get a machine and got it all set up, and they give me my flip book of exercises to do, and that was about it. And I had to try to figure it out and try to set up a routine for myself, and it just never, I couldn't get myself committed to it just because I couldn't get myself into a decent routine or really knew what I was doing.
Wow. Yeah, I totally know where you're coming from, because your experience is like so many other people's experience. You're trying to juggle a family, a job, you're trying to juggle your everyday responsibilities, you're trying to keep your health in check, maybe food prep, cooking. And then on top of that, you're trying to go to the gym to build muscle, to lose weight and stuff like that. It's not easy. And so having to physically go somewhere in order to do this, it just adds another frustration sometimes into life. And then when you have that home gym, most of the time you're kind of on your own with a lot of other
Yeah.
products.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha. I'm curious, if you don't mind, what, if only if you can recall, what other pieces of equipment have you used in the past? I'm just curious.
Well, I had a Bowflex,
Ah, okay.
and yeah, that never really worked out too well. I bought it from a buddy, and after a lot of dust collected on it, I ended up selling it. So
Okay.
that was really the last one that I had.
Gotcha. All right. Yeah, I've totally dabbled with the Bowflex. Yeah. So your experience with the Gym Monster, this must have totally changed, because it sounds like it checks the boxes for you and your circumstance. This thing is at your disposal when you want it, and it's guiding you into reaching your goals. Would you say that's accurate, or?
Yeah, that is. I mean, the big thing was, well, I'll tell you a quick story. So one of the reasons I kind of got into taking it seriously this time was I'm 55 years old, and I was going into my doctor, and we're trying to get my blood pressure down, trying to get my cholesterol down, trying to figure out why my back hurts all the time. And so, I talked to the doctor about all these problems I'm having, and he just basically gave me a book and sent me home, and he said, read this book. And his book is called Younger Next Year. I forget who wrote it, but it's called Younger Next Year, and it's a book about tells about a person that like guys that are around my age, and they do kind of focus on guys, but guys that are around 55 looking at the next season of their lives. What do they have to do to kind of prepare to make sure they have a healthy and enjoyable next season of their lives? And basically the book said, you know what, you got to get used to a lot of things. I mean, because coming up, you're going to have bone loss, bone density loss, you're going to have muscle loss, and you're going to have all these issues coming up. You're going to have brain fog, and you're going to be tripping on stuff you never thought you'd be tripping on. And they basically said, well, you better get used to exercising, and basically you got to get used to exercising every day. And that's exactly what they said. And I thought, man, I'm not even exercising once a day, let alone 7 days a week. How am I going to get committed to something like this? And I started thinking, well, I'm going to have to get active, and I got to do something that is keeping me consistent. And I knew, going to the gym was just hard, being able to drive, 15, 20 minutes and then go in and get ready, hopefully find a machine that someone's not on, and try to keep a routine. And it just wasn't working. So I said, I got to find something, something at home, and something that actually works better than the old Bowflex did. And that's how I did the research and ended up looking at the Speediance.
That is excellent. And that was over in January. So,
Yeah.
so you've had a good few months to be able to check this out. What's been your experience in using it so far? Have you been able to be consistent? Are the training modes and the trainers on there benefiting you? What's been your experience?
Yeah, well, I mean, basically, unless I'm out of town, I do have a routine for every day of the week, and I thought I would never commit to that. And I know you got to have a break, so I try to switch off between different muscle groups and things like that. And then I try to mix in cardio, so I use the rowing machine for cardio. So I've been able to actually commit to it, and I'm as surprised as anybody for 5 months to be able to basically work out every day. And I come down, I look forward to it. I don't know what it is about, maybe it's I'm a tech kind of guy and I like the technology, but it just really helps. It has all the different workouts that you can look at and teach you stuff. And you can either do the full thing or, once you start figuring out the workouts, you can set your own custom workout. And that's what I did. I set a Monday workout, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and I have it on a schedule now. And it's just really worked out well that way. It's helped me kind of maintain it. And it's really a routine now. I mean, it's something where I don't really even have to think, am I going to do it or not do it? I just do it as part of my day now.
That is awesome. That is completely awesome. I'm so glad that this has been able to kind of help you stay consistent. I mean, that's part of like the biggest thing is staying consistent. It's so hard sometimes, especially with life in general, to be able to be consistent and to be able to have that direction and consistently train. That can just change someone's life completely. So you've noticed that within the last months that you've had this, and that's excellent. I'm so happy to hear it, bro.
Yeah.
And let me ask you, what are your thoughts? You have so many options on the market. There's so many options of digital home gyms. As you mentioned, you had a Bowflex in the past. What exactly pointed you in the direction of Speediance and helped you pull the trigger on it?
Yeah, I mean, I could have gone with a functional gym that didn't really have any intelligence to it. I mean, and there, I could find some room. I don't have a lot of room down in this man cave kind of thing I got, but I don't really have a room for a big functional training machine. And the fact that it had no intelligence, I mean, I looked at some at Costco and I thought, this is just going to be like the Bowflex. I'm just going to be sitting. It's just going to sit there, and I'm not going to know how to use it, and I'm not going to know how to get a good routine going. So the fact that it's got the intelligence to it, and the fact that I can kind of track my progress through the screen and everything, and the what I don't know what you call it, the tablet that they got. But I just thought that was it was just kind of a game changer for me. It made a big difference for me, and being able to see so many different options, and the fact that they update the different movements and add new workouts and things on a regular basis. It's just really nice to kind of see that variety, be able to mix things up and know when I'm doing something right. I mean, by being able to sit and actually watch somebody, I don't necessarily need the trainer that I would normally need to make sure I'm doing the movements right.
Totally. Yeah, it's much more cost effective. I mean, you got in at a good time because you're not paying for a subscription. Is that correct?
Right.
Exactly. Yeah. That's excellent. That's excellent. Yeah. You got in at a good time. For everybody out there who is looking at purchasing one of these machines, keep in mind, this is not going to be free of subscription forever. Eventually, they will implement one, and it will be relatively soon. So if you were going to purchase, now might be a good time because you go ahead and get the full functionality, everything that makes this machine super unique and special. Get all the updates for the rest of the time that you own the machine for nothing, just like Erik here. I just want to go ahead and I just want to refresh everybody's minds. The code Joey, that's going to get you guys $120 off of Speediance. You can check the description and the comment section. We have Whitney dropping a link that will take you over to the website that will help you to facilitate a transaction. If you do end up purchasing one of these today, you guys are going to be getting accessories along with this machine. You're going to be getting hooks, ski handles, belt extenders, and a squat belt for free. Remember that you're not going to be seeing it in the cart when you purchase one of these machines, but if you use code Joey, you will be receiving that when you receive your product. And make sure to type in Erik into the comments and drop your comments, questions, and concerns if you guys want to enter into a giveaway that will be happening towards the end of this. So, Erik, I want to ask you, have you been excited on your journey so far? Because you've taken a big step. This is a huge deal. You actually care enough to be proactive with your health, and you cared enough to buy a machine. This machine's not necessarily cheap. It is by far the most cost effective on the market when it comes to a digital home gym, but it does cost money. And so you've taken a huge step. How do you feel emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and even physically? Have you seen physical changes over the last few months?
Yeah, I mean, I really have. Yeah, I feel like I'm more alert at work. I feel like I have more energy for my daughter and for my work, and it's just I've lost approximately, I don't know, about 40 pounds since January. And I feel stronger, and I just feel, I don't know, I feel more motivated. It's actually motivated me more. And I think I told people, I said, I really think it is a life changer for me. I mean, I told you I'm at this crossroads and determining, hey, am I going to continue the way I am, or am I going to actually change something? And it was a major change for me. But it was something where I'm just surprised myself that I was able to commit to it, because I really didn't know if I would or not. But I
Yep.
was, I was pretty motivated. The book actually kind of inspired me, and it was really, it's not something where I really have to make a choice to do now. It's just something I actually enjoy doing. So I guess when you say excitement about it, I mean, I've told a lot of people that it's actually changed my life, and I had people over for Easter, and everyone's trying it out, and I'm, showing it to them, and I got a couple family members that are looking to buy one, and a couple other people that I told about, and it just, it does, like you said, check the boxes. It checked the boxes so well for me with everything I needed, and so I couldn't be happier with it, really.
That is awesome. We got a question from VX. Have there been studies comparing effectiveness of these machines versus traditional free weights? That's a great question, VX. I don't know personally if there have been any studies, but I can tell you that I am a case study myself. And Erik here, I'm sure, is a case study. And one of the reasons why is because we've used other equipment. And so whether you're pumping iron or whether you're using some kind of a Bowflex where it's not free weights, you're using rods, the tension, the strength curves, they're all going to be different. The strength curve of a Speediance is going to be completely different. And for anyone who may not know what a strength curve is, I'm sure many people do, but a strength curve is how the weight moves along a plane. So for example, on your concentric and your eccentric movement, there's a strength curve there. Elastic weight bands, those will move along a different strength curve than an actual physical weight. A physical weight will move along a different strength curve when compared to an electronic digital home gym. So the strength curve of a digital home gym is going to be completely different, because you're getting tension from the moment you turn that weight on to the second that you turn that weight off. Not only are you getting tension, you have the motor pulling constantly, and you can manipulate the strength curves using the modes on this machine. So while I don't know any specific studies out there, I can tell you for a fact, there's no question. I don't need a study. I don't need to be a scientist. I don't need to be anybody but someone who's used both or different types of equipment to tell you that the strength curve is by far much more usable. It's more usable and will allow you to maximize your muscles' potential and your time under tension on a piece of digital home gym equipment. I hope I made sense. Erik, can I use you as a mirror? Did I make any sense there?
Yeah, I mean, I really find benefit of the eccentric mode, because I do feel like I really like the extra burn of the I don't remember what it is on the muscle return, whatever you called it. But I really find that to be really helpful, because I feel like it's helping me get stronger faster, and I'm not going to see that on a basic free weight.
Absolutely. Something that Erik just brought out is that he specifically mentioned eccentric mode. Now, Brad also mentioned eccentric mode, and I've mentioned eccentric mode a million times. as you get older, no problem, VX. I hope that made sense. As you get older, as we all age, as Brad mentioned, you're looking at a whole bunch of different changes in your body, even though we don't want to see it. I mean, I'm 37 and I'm bumping into things. I'm dropping things. If I need to run on the fly, I better have hope that I warmed up in the morning because my lower back is going out. Like, this is just what it is. And I've had problems with my lower back for like 8, maybe 10 years. So it ain't getting better anytime soon. But Erik mentioned eccentric mode. That's a game changer for you guys. And one of the reasons why is, especially as you're getting older, you can lift heavier on the portion where your muscle can actually use more weight. You can lift lighter on the portion where you're more likely to get injured. So this is amazing for anybody who's in like, it's amazing for anyone in general, but 35 and up, I would say this is incredible because you can still lift heavy, but lift heavy safer. You're not worried about if someone's getting hurt, they're getting hurt on the concentric portion of the movement that takes the most amount of energy to actually execute. On the eccentric portion, the coming back or the lengthening of the muscle, you're totally strong. So this machine is going to help you, and the modes on it are going to help you guys to be able to train safer for longer, which is going to cause you to get better results over a long period of time. You've probably noticed that, Erik, that you can lift heavier and it feels natural. You're not putting yourself in a precarious, dangerous situation.
Right. Absolutely.
Good. That is so good to know. Yeah, that's one of my favorite modes for that reason, guys. If you want to train safely and train hard, you are maximizing your muscle's potential when you use something like eccentric mode. So again, code Joey is going to give you guys $120 off. You're going to be getting hooks, ski handles, belt extenders, and a squat belt for free. You won't see them in the cart, but if you use code Joey, you will get them. Also, guys, make sure to drop Erik's name in there in the chat. You guys are going to be entering into a free giveaway when you do that. And again, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, go ahead and drop those in there, whether it's for me or for Erik. Erik is in an amazing place to answer questions because he's new to this machine. And so he can give you a good idea of what a newbie, a relative newbie can expect on this. So, Erik, I just want to say congratulations to you, bro. You said 40 pounds, was it?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
40 pounds. Although some people may think that's a ton of weight. Some people may think, that's nothing. That is a substantial amount of weight that can change your blood work. It can change the way you move on a daily basis, the way you feel mentally. How did you lose that weight? Did you do anything special?
Well, I've been trying to keep an eye on my diet, and I'm kind of a busy professional, and my wife's actually really busy too. So we've been having trouble figuring out a good diet where we, have the time to cook and things. And so for me, I just said, you know what, I'm going to go with some of these Factor 75 meals, and I've been eating them on a regular basis to just get a nice, consistent, decent meal without going to fast food, but also, being able to throw it in the microwave or cook it in the oven pretty quickly. So I've been cutting down on carbs and all that kind of stuff, but a lot of it's really just having a consistent workout routine and just really, sticking to it. And I really have, I was on 3 different blood pressure medicines, and now I'm actually kind of low. So I have to go to my doctor and say, look, I need to get off a couple of these because now I'm too low. So I know it's making some kind of difference there.
That is incredible, bro. That is so inspiring. Guys, this is inspiring stuff. Erik's on the beginning of his journey. If he's done this much so far, just give a few more months, and we're going to see some amazing, amazing stuff. Erik, I hope that down the road, maybe we can do another, once we've seen more progress, maybe we can speak to you more to get an idea about how your journey has progressed. Because man, it's inspiring, and congratulations to you. Of course. Yeah, of course. I'm grateful to say I went from almost 300 pounds at my heaviest down to my lowest was 145 pounds. And after that, I leveled out. You know, I wanted to get to like a show ready kind of a state. I was able to do that, and I kind of let myself come back. I think I'm probably around, I haven't weighed myself in a while, but maybe around like 160, something like that. But I know how much losing weight can change your life. And something I want to congratulate you on too is the fact that you're not only cutting your calories, portion control, but you're also bodybuilding at the same time. That's something that many people don't know that they really should do, because if you don't train your muscles while you're losing weight, you can end up getting what a lot of people refer to as skinny fat. And so you'll lose weight, but a lot of it is muscle mass, and so you become weaker. So is this something that maybe the book helped you to come to a realization about, or something along those lines?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I was losing weight before this. I mean, it really started about a year ago, but I was at a plateau around January 1. And then, I read that book around that time too. And well, I was kind of going through the book. The book kind of inspired me first, but so it kind of got me started. I guess I'd read the book earlier. So I was on a diet, but I just wasn't losing. I kind of got to a plateau and I was kind of stuck. And I went back to the book and said, all right, I did the diet thing, and maybe I'd actually take that book seriously. And because I had read it, and it kind of motivated me. It hadn't motivated me to the exercise part yet. And so I had lost weight before, but I was just at a plateau. And so, and reading the book again and taking it seriously, it's like I need to build muscle. I need to, get that cardio in and get things flowing, get the metabolism going. So that's why I added it in January, and that got me off the plateau. And now, I'm on a downward trend again. So
Good for you, bro. I'm so happy to hear it. VX has another comment. I just want to touch on that. How does your core feel when doing squats or other exercise? Does it feel engaged or not much? Erik, can we get your opinion on that?
I don't do a lot of squats. I still kind of have the back problems that I had before, so I've kind of avoided some of the squats. So I can't say from a squat perspective. That's probably something you'd have to answer.
Okay. Sure. Yeah. VX, in my experience, your core should always, to a degree, be engaged. Of course, you don't want to have your core engaged like you're flexing your stomach muscles constantly to a point where you're getting tired or your core is trembling. We want to make sure when you're training that your energy is going to the muscle that it needs to go to. During squats, especially because there's so many different types of squats, during squats, you're going to want to make sure that your core is engaged, more or less so, depending on the type of squat, whether it's a behind the neck squat, whether it's a front squat, whether it's a split squat. All of that's going to depend. The amount of core engagement is going to depend on the type of squat you're doing. But of course, it should always be engaged to a degree. Your core is going to help you to stabilize. So for example, if you're on a squat and clapping for Erik, absolutely. 100. I'm clapping too. My heart is going crazy for Erik right now.
Thanks.
Absolutely, man. It's inspiring. But yes, to answer your question, it should always be engaged, but it never should be engaged. Not never, but it should never be, it shouldn't be engaged as much as if you're training your stomach. Let me put it like that. So there's a lot that we could go into, but we really don't have too much time. I hope that was a satisfactory answer to you guys. On my channel, I look forward, on the Joey B channel, I look forward to touching on a lot of this stuff. I've been training a fantastic gentleman lately, and I see some of the struggles he's going through. And so I want to touch on those specific struggles. And this may be one of those types of struggles. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, drop them in the comments section, even after this video is done being live, and I can go ahead and try to answer those. Melody, does Speediance help with flexibility, and how many users will it allow? with flexibility, Melody, I can answer that very, very quickly because we're running short on time. It will absolutely help with flexibility. The stronger you become, the more you will able to utilize your muscles in a flexible manner. As Whitney mentioned, there's unlimited users. At once, you can go ahead and use 2 different users. It's an amazing feature. Speediance allows you to use 2 different users training at the same time, essentially. This is a dual motor machine. So it has 2 motors. And so you can go ahead and do 2 people at a time. And it will record your progress for both people. Erik, we need a 6-month and 1-year update. Absolutely, I agree. Fantastic. I look forward to it, man. Unfortunately, we're running out of time. Whitney, can you go ahead and let us know who is the winner for this round? Who wins the free gift? Erik, I don't even want to stop talking to you, bro, because it's so cool to see your journey begin. And I'm so excited for you knowing what is to come, because you're still such a young guy. You're a young dude. You're going to be able to, you're going to blow this out of the park if you just keep doing what you're doing.
No, I appreciate it. It's not BS. I mean, it's real. Really real.
Straight up. Absolutely. Cutting calories, portion control, it goes a long way. And then that bodybuilding, that's just the other component. Anybody can do it. And especially when you have a machine like this at your disposal, with the modes, with the weight manipulation, the ease of use, all that stuff. It's funny because I've seen Speediance win the free giveaway twice already.
Yeah, I know. 3 times.
3 times. All right, listen, man. Just give it to me. I don't even know what it is. Just give me the free gift. Actually, give it to Erik. Give it for the free gift to Erik. He deserves it.
I don't need it. I'm all right. There we go, Matthew.
All right, Matthew. Congratulations. Congratulations. Very happy. You've probably won a massage gun, which is fantastic. Currently, I'm on a little trip, and I miss my massage gun. I can't wait to go home just for my massage gun. I should have brought it on my trip. But, man, Erik, it's been fantastic to speak to you. Thank you for your time today. Thank you for sharing your inspiring story. And I look forward, we all look forward to hearing about your progress in the future.
You got it. Glad to be here.
Thank you, bro. All right. I hope everyone's having a great night. Feel free, guys, click on that link in order to purchase this. You're getting a ton of free stuff. You're getting $120 off. And you're going to get to support a fantastic company who is supporting the users. Right now, there's no membership fee, guys. Don't forget, no membership fee. That won't last forever. I hope everyone has a great night, Erik. Take care, and we'll catch you all in another video. Same here, bro. And I look forward to reaching out to you on the in the Facebook user community.
You bet.
All right, guys. Have a good night.